I think the voters sent a clear message last night. Both parties have to step up and do something about crime as well as gun violence.
That's President Biden this morning talking about the recall of San Francisco's progressive prosecutor. Voters there had enough of Chesa Boudin's soft on crime policies and ousted him. During his 2 years in office, burglaries were up 45%, homicides were up 37%. And viral videos show shoplifters unafraid of police, unafraid with good reason. Mr. Boudin rarely prosecuted them. Here is the man himself post-recall.
This is a movement, not a moment in history. And I want to be very clear about what happened tonight. The right-wing billionaires outspent us 3-1. They exploited an environment in which people are appropriately upset. And they created an electoral dynamic where we were literally shadowboxing. Voters were not asked to choose between criminal justice reform and something else. They were given an opportunity to voice their frustration and their outrage, and they took that opportunity.
Clearly, Mr. Boudin and Mr. Biden differ on their takeaway from the election. Lieutenant Tracy McCray is here, Vice President of the San Francisco Police Officers Union, and have been sounding the alarm bells on this for a long time. Good to see you, Lieutenant. We appreciate it. Is San Francisco suddenly safe now?
Well, I would hope so. I think what you saw was, we called it a movement. It's a movement out of office for him. So it's getting us on the right track about our reputation. Whoever comes in next, let it be known that we will prosecute you. And there are no backroom deals for criminals, so they can go out the back door and continue doing what they were doing.
London Breed, who's the mayor there, is going to appoint a prosecutor until the next election. This does not mean that criminal justice reform in San Francisco is going anywhere. It does not mean that there will be all of a sudden a significant setback. How does that mean that all of a sudden criminals are going to be prosecuted?
So I think, you can have someone held accountable and you can have criminal justice reform. They can coexist. People think you trade in one for the other, and you don't. Like I said before, people who commit violent crimes aren't going to be sent to diversion programs for nonviolent people. That does not work. People will not be sent to programs where they giving credit for time served for sent to drug diversion when they don't have a drug problem. So those shenanigans will stop. And we haven't had someone as a DA who has prosecuted a case, who's been a prosecutor for a very long time. And that is what we need.
Obviously, the citizens there were fed up. Recalled San Francisco Boudin and LA DA Gascon, both progressive DAs in California. What would be your advice to law enforcement in Los Angeles, who probably feels the same way about Gascon that you all do about Boudin?
I mean, this is democracy at work. Everyone is held accountable to someone. Elected officials are held accountable by the constituents, the people, and the people exercised what they needed to do last night in that recall to vote him out. And so for my brothers and sisters down in LA, you stay the course, because obviously if it could happen in San Francisco, it can happen anywhere. So hold steady, do what you need to do. We continue to go out and do our job, but people are going to hold these elected officials accountable. And if they don't like what they're doing, obviously there's a remedy to that, and they will remove them from office.
They'll remove them from office, but it takes a while perhaps for the message to get through to the criminals. What has to change on the street for criminals to learn that it can't be business as usual or business the way it was under Boudin? It goes back to the reputation. We have a great police force here. The men and women of this department go out every day and arrest criminals. They present great cases to the prosecutors to prosecute, and the prosecutors have to do their job. So this is a first start. We'll continue to do our jobs, and criminals will know that. They already know it. What comes next for San Francisco? Is it simply just prosecuting the people you arrest? Because I know a lot of our discussions revolved around Prop 47 that made shoplifting essentially like getting a traffic ticket up to $1,000. Even if a new prosecutor wants to come in and crack down on that, they really can't, can they?
No, so that was going to have to go to the voters to change that. Prop 47 is going to have to be, reworked, taken off, right? Because we know it doesn't work. It allows people to commit these crimes where businesses are still being targeted. So the people of the state are going to have, to make some tough choices. Do you want to hold people accountable, or do you want them to continue to rob and loot and steal, unabated? That just can't happen in a civilized society.
Boudin, in his, I guess you can't really call it a concession speech because he wasn't conceding. He was just sort of thumbing his nose at the voters. But when he said, we're not asked to choose between criminal justice reform and something else, they exploited an environment in which people were appropriately upset. It leaves out what they were upset about. What don't you think Boudin understood about the message that was being sent?
I don't think you understand that his job was to prosecute and be a voice for the victim, right? He's coming at it from what is a societal issue. We can't go into people's homes and raise their kids and teach people right from wrong, right? We get involved with people when they do something that brings us to their attention that they've committed a crime, right? But the things he's talking about, that should be in the home. And that's not what you're supposed to be doing as a prosecutor. That's great and all. So go work for a think tank. Go, start an organization to go help people raise their kids better. But that's not what a prosecutor's job is. So let's get it straight. Prosecute. Do your job.
Well, come back and talk to us when the new appointed prosecutor is in office to see if they're doing their job, all right?
Thank you very much for having me, Leland. I'll be back.
Yeah, thank you, Lieutenant. It's good to see you. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.